Hello, my name is Petersen, and I've been dealer for Arctic boats for some years now. And we're in Poland, Warsaw, in this incredible weather to show you the new factory-built Arctic Commuter 25. And this one is actually delivered to Greeneland, which will be shipped in next week. And we have installed two 300 horsepower of Evinrude G2 E-Tech engines on it. And we are here in Poland to make some test driving on the new boat. So follow us. Yes, and welcome aboard this Commuter 25 with a very nice platform to get in, straight in. And the first thing you will meet when you come into the boat is actually the big compartment that you have here. You can store a lot of things inside. Very big compartment where you can store engines, spare parts, ropes, life vest, and so on. So it's a very big compartment for, you know, a lot of things that you want to store in your boat. Then you have a very comfortable and big entrance from the aft into the cabin, and you also have your left and right entrances. So you have a lot of availabilities to get into the boat. Inside, very big cabin as well. For me, is very high, around, let's see, 2 meters or something. So a lot of space around here, and you have some seatings. Of course, install one thing here, so you have actually a very big seating availability for the passengers. And of course, Grammar Nordic seats, very comfortable if you are out in some rough sea, and also the same for the captain. And a very nice view, panoramic view everywhere. So quite nice to get in and have a good experience of sailing. And of course, inside we also have this sleeping cabin. Of course, for me also very comfortable height, and where you can actually have 2 persons sleeping around here. And of course a little bit untidy, but that is because that this boat is quite new. It haven't been on the water yet, so it is factory new, and that's what we are going to test today. Some few compartments down below the sleeping area here, and we have also some compartments here, and of course the toilet is here. So for my opinion, very good space to be and sleeping for 2 persons. Let's get to this toilet and see that of course very good availability where you can sit, and no problem at all. It is of course an electric toilet, so you are able to flush wherever you are when you have used it. And one of the things that you need to know is actually that we have a very good electric hatch up here, so we can just open and shut the area if we need some fresh air and so on. So it's just pulling on the hatch and so on. Very neat. There you are. So overall experience is actually quite good. Good finish with a lot of good quality trees around. So that means that you will meet a class on this boat, Commuter 25. And this one is actually also installed with Rail Marine, both chart plotter and of course radar on it, and electronics equipment with all to the Evinrude engines that we have. This one have also installed Eberspecher diesel heater, so you are of course when you're in the Arctic or something, you are able to get warm inside the cabin. A very good music equipment as well, with a lot of loud. We have some subwoofers on this edition, and of course VHF fixed for the boat. Some gauges for the engine and water. So overall experience is actually that this is a very good, very nice boat with everything in comfort. We have electric anchor, where you just can go say up and down, of course, and we also have a boat thruster, of course, which is using for easier docking, and of course the big and very comfortable even route gauges for the engine. So another go out is actually this door. So when we're inside, we have 3 doors where we can go out and of course enjoy the weather. Now a little bit of surprise, of course, when you have this spacious area here, you actually also can go down here, where you actually can find another sleeping area for 1 person. So after all, it is actually a very spacious area, and down there you have the surprise area for 1 person to go down and sleep when you're on a long haul experience with this great boat. Alright, if you don't want to use this compartment where you can sleep as well, you can also use this area. Push this down, and then you can also have 2 persons sleeping here. So instead of having 1 sleeping down there, you can actually also have 2 persons sleeping here. So after all, this Arctic Commuter 25, you can sleep 4 persons if you want. So it is actually quite practical if you want to make a little vacation outside your home. So that is actually quite practical for you, if you are going out and having some fun with your friends. Alright, let's prepare for a nice evening with our friends. So that means that this area is going to be a very, very big double-sized bed for 2 persons. So that means that your table is just going to be down, and you just need to place a little thing. So one. Here you are. Very big area for sleeping for 2 persons as well. So very practical for if you are on a long haul with your friends. And here you can see a nice area for eating with your friends, with a fold out the table, and actually a very nice area for seating for 3 or 4 persons. So that means that you will be very comfortable around here and have your food here, and then you have a very nice place to eat with your friends and have some wine. Last and not least, you have your own stove. When you're out in the sea and having some good time with your friends, you have a gas boiler and of course a sink where you can use your this area for preparing your food. So after all, a very practical little thing that you can just put up and use, and of course just get back again after you have used it. Well, now we go up to the bow, and we can of course see that there's a hatch here, and we have some cushions for seating for some good time outside in the great sun. All right, then we go up front where we have the anchor, of course. We have some compartments to to hide all the ropes that we have. Both areas is having a compartment where you are actually going to protect the glass fiber for eventually damages and something. And this one is of course delivered with electric anchor, so that is actually going to be operated inside if you want, and we also have remote control for the bow anchor, so it can be operated outside from. Very practical. All right, now we are going to some choose of engines. Of course, it is your personal preferences that make sense of the choice of the engines. For Greeneland purposes, a lot of Greenlanders use outboard engines, and nowadays Evinrude E-Tech G2 300 horsepower is actually quite common to install for Greenlandic use. And of course, if you want, you can also choose a Volvo Penta engines up to 300 horsepower, of course inboard. And beside the Evinrude engines, you can also choose to have either Yamaha or Mercury engines for your purposes, of course. Of course, when you're choosing some engines and saying that you want outboard engines, when you choose outboard engines, you have this very big compartment where you can store all your things. And of course, if you are choosing an inboard engine, then you are losing this big compartment. So there are some quite good practical solutions if you use outboard engines. For Greenland, it is very obvious that you choose some outboard engines because you are using your boat for traveling a long distance trip with your family. Well, of course, when you are going to travel and transport your boat, you can of course, before you get up your engines, take this up. So there's a lot of rooms for the engines to be traveled around. So this is a transport mode for the engines outboard edition. And when we're going out, and we have those compartments as well. One compartment is actually where you are able to choose, either you have a compartment for ropes and so on, but you have also the option to install a winch for an anchor. So that is an option that you can take. Here you can see all the outlets for the Webasto diesel heater. It's quite, you can see that a lot of distance to the cabin, so it is actually quite good for the climate inside, and because you need to have some fresh air to heat up the cabin. And when coming in, you're actually able to have an option to install a big table outside if you want, and it's just to say how big it is. We can customize it as you wish. And when coming out, you have some seats when they're installed, but of course when you open them, it is some compartments as well. This one is for the gas, for the stove inside, and then we have also additional tank for the Webasto. And you have a lot of space to store anything, ropes, fenders, or something that you need to store. And when you are talking about the other side as well, we have a lot of compartment, the same size as the other one, which you can use for general everything. And for safety purposes, we have a lot of handrails around. So if you're out in rough seas and so on, you can actually take whatever you want and so on. And they are actually quite big, and if you want, we can also customize them so they may be like this one all over around. And of course, if you want higher handrails, it is of course possible to give us a call and say that you want to install the higher handrails. We have inlet, of course, for the shore. So that means that if you are somewhere and you want some inlet, you can actually just put in the electrical inlet, so you have electricity all over the boat if you want. And in this Greeneland edition, we have been choosing that we have two tanks installed. The one is actually 320 liters, 320 liters, and the one is 240 liters. So that means that if you are fully loaded with fuel, you have around 560 liters fuel. So you are actually able to have a long haul if you want. But of course, safety first. Then you have a very big compartment where you can store 100 or 200 liters of gas more. So that's great for you.